Wouldn't it be great if you could just ask an AI, how can I test the new changes going into our next release? I'll show you 2 ways you can do just that. The first method uses CodeRabbit, a well-known pull request agent. This initial approach might be better for unit testing, and we'll look at how to handle testing for larger releases a bit later. You can find CodeRabbit in the GitHub Marketplace. Right now, it offers a free open source plan. Just click Install and it'll ask you for permission to read your repository. I've already set it up, but it's super straightforward. You'll get through it without needing a demo. Next, we need to set up a new repository. Just give it a name, and then I'll add a README file and a gitignore file using a Node.js template. Make sure to click the checkbox at the end to grant CodeRabbit access to this repository. With the repo all set up, I'll create a new branch here for new features of our imaginary app. Then I'll make a small adjustment to the gitignore file. I'll add the node modules folder, and then we can create a pull request for this change in a bit. CodeRabbit is a pull request agent. So creating a pull request is how we get it to start doing its job. Now we see the Compare and Pull Request button. Perfect. That's what we want. CodeRabbit starts reviewing the new changes right away. It just takes a few seconds. CodeRabbit is ready, so let's take a look at what we got. There's a summary here saying, updated ignore rules to ensure node modules is excluded from version control. Below that, there's a walkthrough providing a bit more detail. There's also a nitpick comment. Avoid redundant ignore patterns. CodeRabbit is totally right there. The node modules folder was already listed in that file. If you want to see the other features and commands CodeRabbit offers, you can just type CodeRabbit AI help. You'll get a list of all the commands you can give it, like review, full review, summary, or generate doc strings or a sequence diagram. That's pretty neat. It gives you some ideas of what you can ask. But I really like that it's an AI, so you can just ask it anything you want. For example, let's ask it how the 2 versions are different. And there you see a summary of that single change I made to the gitignore file. Next, we can ask CodeRabbit how it would handle the functional testing for this new change. After just a few seconds, we get a really nice test plan. It includes 3 test cases, a directory ignoring test, edge cases, and git operations. That's actually a really good plan. I've definitely seen worse, like way worse. It even includes edge case tests for a file named node modules, and node modules with all capital letters. That's pretty clever. This was a simple example, but it shows how easy CodeRabbit makes generating test cases. Now let's move on to testing an entire release. You could do this with CodeRabbit by creating a branch for the current release and another for the new one, and then creating a pull request between them. But not everyone might want to use pull requests for this, so I'll show you a different approach. Let's find an example project we can use. I want to grab the latest version of a repository and then an older version, maybe from about 6 months ago. This way we can simulate having a new release and a current version. I'll download the latest version as a zip file. Then we need an older version to represent the current already released version of the app. I've unzipped these 2 releases into a folder called Releases, and then I open that folder in the Visual Studio Code editor. I've got some AI extensions installed, and I'm choosing Gemini for this demonstration because its current version is performing really well with code reviewing tasks. It's a good idea to test AIs regularly, since what's best today might not be next year. Now for the prompt, give me a list of code changes between these 2 releases. I include both release folders using the @ sign. And there you see the changes listed. That was kind of a warm-up question for the AI, but now for the main event. The real prompt is, how would you test the functionality of these new changes? And here comes a solid, detailed test plan. First few tests cover changes to .gitignore and package.json. We might not need to test those, but including them shows just how thorough the AI is. It catches every small change. Each test case comes with a description, test steps, and expected results, all clearly documented. Then we get into the code tests. User registration, login and logout. Update user settings, create, view, update, and delete articles. Add and delete comments, view user profiles, follow and unfollow users. There's also a list of UI components and aspects you should specifically check during testing, such as navigation bar links, pagination, images, error messages, and more. I think this looks like an excellent test plan to begin testing with. I've seen much worse plans, some of which I wrote myself, but that's partially because I lean toward exploratory testing. Now, I've compared the Git diff of these two releases, and the plan seems valid. But in your own projects, it's always a good idea to have a plan review meeting with the developer of the app and go through the plan together to ensure all the new changes have been accounted for. What's great here is that we can ask more about the project. The AI serves as something like our test manager. So, if you have new or junior testers on your team and you want to give them something practical, ask the AI how James Baugh would test this release. If you haven't heard of him, James Baugh is a well-known figure in the testing world. And here's the answer from Gemini. It outlines steps like understand the product, identify quality criteria, devise a testing strategy, plan activities using charter-based exploratory testing, scenario testing, claims testing, domain testing, interruption testing, and more. Now, something your project manager might want to know is how many days this project might take with just one tester. The AI estimates about 5 days for manual testing. This doesn't include test automation, but you could then follow up and ask for an estimate that incorporates test automation, maybe using a framework like Playwright. Ultimately, how well the AI's estimates hold up is something you'll want to keep an eye on. Now, if you're planning a security testing project, you can ask a similar question to Gemini and include the release folders in your prompt, just like before. And there it is. It outlines penetration testing areas such as authentication, article operations, article content, API interactions, client-side security, server-side rendering, and so on. In this case as well, you can go ahead and ask for a budget estimate and even add specific parameters you want included, like incorporating certain automation tools or periodic scans within a CI/CD pipeline. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, please share it with your colleagues. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.